We have a huge announcement before we get this video started. We officially have the first Voss Garage t-shirt. And guys, they turned out so good. On the front, we have Voss Garage. And on the back, we have, if you need me, I'll be wrenching. And a picture of the second gen, because if you own a second gen, you'll definitely be wrenching. The material is that lighter, like dry fit material, which will be really nice for the summertime. I do not have a website set up yet, but if you want one, you can find me on Instagram or on Facebook, send me a message and I will get you on. But I was really excited to share this with you guys. So with that, let's get on to the video. Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We'll be getting the bottom end put back together. That's the plan for today. So let me just show you what we have laid out on the table. So we have a ultrasonic cleaner that is cleaning away. We already cleaned up all of our timing case bolts and the cover bolts. We have the timing case nicely painted up by yours truly, a fresh gasket, and then some bonus parts here. We have red and blue Loctite, the Permatex Ultra Black sealer. We got some of this assembly lube with the Moly graphite. Learned all this from Josh McCormick. We have dial indicator. We have this is the old cam bushing. We already installed the new one. I will attach a video of us doing that right here. So to drive the old one out, you use this kit from Harbor Freight. Actually works perfect, and I think it's 39 millimeter? 59 millimeter. Fits on there perfectly. So just drive them out. Some 640 green Loctite. It's their sleeve retainer compound. And then obviously bushing. And the important part here is there's that oil hole that you need to line up with the block down there. So we got her lined up and we're just gonna drive them in. So now that it's pressed almost flush and the hole is lined up, we're going to take a little bit bigger tool, put it on there upside down and just kind of massage it around to get it flush. And we now have a fresh cam bushing in it. And the hole is lined up perfect. Shout out to Hurricane. It's like he's built a Cummins diesel before. And then you will see we also have some Hamilton tappets, because we decided to get the Hamilton, the 178 over 208 cam. We already have the gear pressed on with a new key in it. I will attach a video right here of us doing that.
Do it right in front of you, or
Right, yeah.
And so we are ready to roll. We already have the new bushing in here. We have Hurricane just cleaning up the surfaces. We have the oil hole lined up like you saw in the video. It's nicely installed. So this is not a how-to video. This is a learn how-to video with me, because I'm not going to teach anyone this. I'm learning this myself as I go. I'm just a guy in his garage doing this. Really excited to get the engine back together. Hopefully by the end of the day, we have the bottom end back together and ready for the head to go on. But as you see, we have Grandpa Duke and Hurricane to help us today. So let me set you guys up and just enjoy us putting this engine back together. All right, as you saw, we got all the bolts in. We put red Loctite on the bolts that go in the middle and the two down here that go into the block. We torqued everything to 15 foot-pounds for right now. Just kind of let it set up a little bit. We put some cover bolts around as well to make it a nice even load. And then we are taking some time to clean up Smart TV around the oil pump and where the cam retainer goes. And then we will torque it to 18 foot-pounds and we'll be ready to put the tappets in and get the cam installed. Okay, we got the case installed, as you just saw. I took some time to clean out all the tappet holes with a drill brush, so they're all cleaned up, and now we are going to start lubing up the tappets and get those dropped in. Like I said earlier, we're using this moly graphite. We're just gonna lube them up and get those dropped in the engine. So now we're gonna take some time to get some assembly lube in each cam journal, make sure that bushing is lubed up. Then we're going to lube up the camshaft and slide them in. We went ahead and took the pickup tube off just to give us some more room, and I have a fresh gasket for it, so it just makes sense to take it off right now. So as you just saw, we got the cam installed, and we kind of got ahead of ourselves here and installed the cam gear retainer before we checked the in-play, but we are about to do that now. As you can see, we have our little jig set up, and from what I found, it should be 4 to 17 thou, and we're just gonna put a pry bar underneath the gear and prop them up. So Hurricane, do the honors. And we're at about 11. So that should be just fine. I think we are good to go there. We now have the camshaft installed with all of the Hamilton tappets. And just look at that retainer. This looks so sick, but too bad no one will ever see it. Make sure you have your timing marks lined up like so. And as you see, we have the engine turned upright because Hurricane and I are going to tackle the rear main. I bought the whole rear main kit, so we're going to zip this off, put a fresh gasket behind this guy, and new rear main seal on the crankshaft. And then we're just going to keep chipping away. All right, it's now the next day. As you saw, we got quite a bit done yesterday, but I had a lot of family coming in and out. I took some time this morning to just double check everything we did yesterday, and everything's looking good, but let me just tell you guys what all we did. So like you saw, we got the timing cover on and we dropped the cam in. I did lube up all the cam journals inside, so all of that looks great. I lubed up each individual one, and the reason you want to do that is as you push the cam in, the lube will slowly work itself off as it goes through the cam journals. So you want to lube up the cam journals before you drop the cam in. And then We set the timing. It's super easy. It's just 2 circles on the cam gear, 1 circle on the crank gear. Line those up. We put the cam retainer in. And then like you saw, we put the cam gear retainer on, and we got ahead of ourselves and didn't check the camshaft in play. So we checked that. All that's looking good. And from there, we tackled the rear main like you saw, and now we got it back up vertical like it was. And we've just been cleaning it up and getting it ready to get painted. So that's the plan right now. I'm just going to finish cleaning all this up and get it masked off and start painting it, because I'll show you guys in our other garage, we have tons of parts painted already. We're working on a cylinder head right now. We got it primered, and then we got the oil pan, timing cover, tappet cover, and then the intake plenum cover. All that painted and looking solid. So now we're just working on getting this painted up. Thanks to Hurricane for helping me get all this put together and make sure it's all done right. It's almost like he's actually a Cummins engine builder. I've been taking some time to clean up a lot of bolts. All my oil pan bolts are cleaned up, some other stuff. All of our gaskets, we did do the RTV, gasket RTV process. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. Hopefully we have no leaks or minor leaks. That's the goal. As long as it's better than it was. That's really the whole premise of the build anyways, just better than it was. One other thing we did, which I'm really glad that I did, is we took off the pickup tube, and this was the gasket. As we were taking it off, it just split in two because it is just brittle from being, 20 years old. So kind of glad that I decided to take that pickup tube off and put a fresh gasket on it. Shout out to Jacob Westra. You commented about these carbide scrapers. Man, these things have been the best tool I've had to use on scraping this thing. It's crazy how good they do. Again, appreciate the comment on these. They've definitely gotten used and come in handy. But now we're just going to mask them up and start painting. We officially have it fully taped up. As you can see, I also have lots of earplugs in every hole that I can think of that I need. Probably overdid it on this side, but I can't remember everything that I need, so I figured why not? I'll just use what I have and plug all the holes. But we got her taped up, ready for some paint action. I'm just gonna push her outside and then throw a little tarp down and hit it with primer tonight. And then I'll come back and finish her up. And this is after 2 light coats of primer. I gave it about 24 hours to dry, so we should be ready for some black. Sorry for the wind noise, but I'm just going to lay down some glass on her and get it shining. I'm gonna do 3 coats of black and then 2, maybe 3 light coats of clear coat, and we'll see how that looks. Well, the wind finally died down after a couple hours, and we decided to lay down the rest of the glass on it. And it's turning out pretty slick. I am not thrilled about some of this action we have going on, but you know what? It's good enough for who it's for. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll look good from the top side of the engine bay. We went with a crazy color here. I know what you guys are thinking. Black. I'm a less is more kind of a guy, so I like a nice, clean, just solid black. I'll show you what painting products I use here in a little bit, but this is 4 coats of the black that I picked out. And after we let this dry overnight, we don't want to rush it. We're going to let it take its time and sit overnight. And then we're going to put probably 3 thin layers of clear coat on it. And I think that'll finish it off really nice. Okay, it's now the next morning. We're just going to lay 1 light coat of base coat on it, just to give the clear coat something to adhere to. And then we are going to start clear coating. The wind is very minor today, so it's a much better day to paint. The plan is to get this painted up, get it clear coated, and then this afternoon, hopefully we start bolting stuff back together and make it look like an engine again. As you see, we got diesel again. And here is the final result after 3 layers of clear coat. I'm definitely not a painter, as you probably saw in the video, but it turned out pretty sweet, in my opinion. It's good enough for who it's for. But over here we have a full table of parts. As you can see, already got this stuff painted up as you saw earlier. Got some seals down there. And the plan now, let's start with the paint I use. So I use this high heat primer from Rust-Oleum, so guaranteed to hold up. I use this Duplicolor engine enamel with ceramic. Withstands heat up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Also resistant to oil and fluids, and ideal for engine blocks and accessories. Definitely need to resist the oil and fluids when you have a Cummins turbo diesel. Last but not least, the final product, this gloss clear from VHT. Some high temp clear coat. So that is the trifecta of paint that I use. We'll see how it holds up. I've heard some good things about this, so I have high expectations for it. But as I've said before, I'm not a painter, so it probably won't hold up very long. So now let's talk about all of the parts I have laid out here on the table. Start with, I picked up a fleece mechanical fuel pump block-off plate just to give it a little bling, because we currently use I think it's a big block or a small block Chevy block-off plate that we got from O'Reilly's, just to give a little bling. We have a front cover seal and the installation tool. I have new cylinder head dowels from Fleece. Probably not necessary, but I picked them up anyway. We have ARP assembly lube, a fresh set of ARP 2000s. And then we have a tap to chase the cylinder head bolt holes. We have the same Loctite, new gaskets for the oil cooler, and then we have obviously oil pan gasket, tapper cover, a head gasket, a few other gaskets, pickup tube gasket, yada yada. And obviously you see all of our parts over here: oil pan, tapper cover, intake plenum, and then the oil filter housing and timing cover. So now that the engine is fully painted up, we can begin reassembling. But before we begin doing that, we're going to go through and chase all of the holes for the cylinder head. We're just going to do one by one with the tape on it. Just going to try and do each hole individually, and then have a vacuum stand by just to suck up all the debris and oil and nastiness that comes out of the holes. So I definitely recommend doing this before you just throw some fresh head studs in this thing. We're going to get to doing that. It's going to be pretty boring, so I'll probably video a little bit of it, but we're just going to knock that out so we can get to the exciting stuff, which is setting the cylinder head back on and make this thing look like an engine again. One small tip to help with painting is you can use these earplugs to cover the holes. You can just like deform them, shove them in the holes, and they'll pretty much take fit to any hole you have. It works really good because you can trim them, put them in any size hole, and they'll fit. So that's a little tip for that. And then some bigger holes, you can use tin foil, like this oil drain hole. I have tin foil in there, and then some other holes I had tin foil in there. So that just works good for that. It's just a little tip. All right, we now have all of the holes chased, and I was surprised by how much stuff came out of some of these holes, especially the outside ones that aren't covered by the valve cover. So if you're in this situation, definitely do that. I was surprised at how much came out of it. So what we did is we started with vacuuming each hole out individually and then chased them. And then after that, we sprayed brake clean down the holes and kind of blew it out with the air compressor. And it was really easy with this tape over the engine because it kept stuff kind of protected. So definitely recommend that. But now we are going to flip the engine over, put our pickup tube on, and slap the oil pan on. Oh man, oil pan is on. And I'm getting excited to see how it looks when it's all buttoned up. We went ahead and just torqued them to 11 foot-pounds, 11-ish, being very cautious around this area above the rear main seal, and as well as same area in the front of the front main. Want to be careful around there. You don't want that gasket spitting out right there. I'm gonna let this kind of tack up before I run them down to 18 foot-pounds. After that, be ready to flip them over and put the cylinder head on. Now we got the engine sitting back upright, and we started prepping the deck surface for the head gasket. And I'm actually going to call it here for the night because I don't really know if this is prepped well enough. I've been scraping it with the carbide scraper and using brake clean and a rag to really clean it. I wanted to hear from you guys or do some more research and see if I need to prep it more than this. Let me know what you guys think. You can't feel anything. It feels perfectly flat and clean everywhere. I mean, I don't really know how I can get any better than this without like a sanding wheel or something to take material off. And I just don't want to do that. So I want to do some more research before I just slap the head gasket on it and call it a day, because I don't want to be back in here. But once we get the block surface prepped, or I get confirmation that this is sufficient, then we can get the cylinder head put back on it, which let me show you the cylinder head because we got it freshly painted up too. I know what you're thinking. Wow, crazy color. We went black this time. I know, something different, but we got it ready to go as well. So I really just need confirmation that this is prepped well enough, or I need to do some more work on it. But once we get the cylinder head put back on it, then we can start slapping all of these parts back on as well. I have all of my valve trains still laid out. I got a few more upgrades I want to show you guys, which will be in the next video. But I need to order a few more parts like connector tube O-rings, some injector O-rings, and I think that's really it. And then we can finally get all this stuff put back on, which obviously will be in the next video. So with that, thank you for watching. I'm also sorry for the lack of videos lately. I have a lot kind of going on right now. If you don't know, I'm getting married pretty soon, in May actually, and then I'll be moving right after that, pretty far away. So I'll make a video kind of announcing that and where I'll be going, which I'm really excited for, and it'll be huge for the channel. So bear with me here. Once I kind of get some more stuff wrapped up, and this summer, videos are gonna pick back up. So it'll be a little slow for a little bit, but I'll be picking back up this summer when we get all established in our new place. And next video will be either a Trans Am update finally, or getting a cylinder head back on, one of the two. But I've been making a ton of progress on the Trans Am, so I have a lot to share with you on that. So with that, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and take care, guys.